Alright guys, hello and welcome back. It is time for the third game of this best of three finals for week 1 of the North American Challenger Cup. Noble Esports took game 1 in a pretty solid fashion, but High5 came back with a vengeance and took game 2 pretty convincingly. So game 3, it's going to come down to which of these two rather behemoth teams coming in based on their previous performances can pull out a victory and pull out first place overall for the day.
I predict an Athena pick or ban. That's what I'm going to say here.
Now see, this could be one of these things you technically just cheated, given the fact that one of them was already sitting on the ban screen for me.
No, not for me. I'd not actually seen it yet. You're probably a little bit ahead of me, but Athena was banned away, shockingly. And, oh god, the support focus from High5.
Yeah. No, it is definitely a concern. Like you said, Junipero is a Masters level support player, very solid in that role. We saw Geb Sylvanas banned out every game of the series so far for the first 2 bans by High5. Game 3, no exception. I'll be curious to see if they look for that Emir ban going to counter bans like we saw into Game 2. Junipero, at least in the eyes of High5, is someone to worry about.
Well, maybe they're just trying to focus it down and try and put some pressure onto this duo lane once again. Anhur has been locked in once again, though, for High5. For Medieval's been pretty much focusing on this god and maining this god throughout the whole tournament so far. And Bocce did good work on that Janus last game. It had no real issues up against the Agni of BK Haste this time around. But I wonder if we'll see the Agni come out again. I wouldn't be surprised if we do, because the Agni was still strong overall this tournament. It was just a bit of a misstep in that game. I feel like they just didn't play as well, did Noble Esports, as they have previous games.
I'm trying to think. When we saw High5 early on in the bracket, was Medieval also playing Anhur?
Was who, sorry?
Was Medieval also playing Anhur in the early game we saw? I don't remember.
I believe so.
Medieval definitely seems to focus and prioritize that Anhur pickup. That maybe could.
I've seen a lot of Anhur from him.
Yeah, it could maybe be a point taken away from maybe his other AD carriers. Maybe a bit of a comfort pick. Put him out of his comfort zone a little bit.
He is subbing in for Nonton right now, so we'll see how this works out for them. But yep, it's gonna be locked in for him. Isis is picked up instead though for BK Haste in this mid lane instead of that Agony that we've seen him play a lot this tournament. And Xbalanque also locked in for Lou this time, so Lou's mixing up one more time. And he's back over once again to High5 for what they're gonna pick here. Junglers are available. Bats on the table is about. Grishank pretty well known for his jungle play on that Bats.
It'll be interesting to see what they look to go for. I mean, you want to generally leave any possible counter picks for later on. Solo lane, yeah, okay, fair enough. Tier pretty much doesn't have any really bad matchups necessarily. He's going to be fairly safe. He offers a lot to the team fights. So now as we finally move to the counter banning phase, it's going to come down to possibly some support bans as well as jungler bans coming out. We'll see what High5 look to ban out right now. Will they go for that third support ban, or will they look for something else? That's going to be the question. We should have an answer to here in just a few seconds.
We'll see. To see what they actually choose to do here, because obviously we wait for the counter bans to come through. Not sure what they'd actually go to ban away here. Was that
nothing?
Did that show up? I don't know if it was nothing or it just didn't show.
Well, maybe find the answer to that one in game. The timer did just tick down pretty much the second on that one. On the other side, Ares is going to be taken off the table. No one likes supports amongst these teams, evidently. Elbert Chacho has been making huge plays on that Athena early on. The Ares that last game, so why not take it off the table and just make sure nobody can?
Comba's available. Ymir's available right now.
I'm going to speculate on that ban. It was
Hades is available.
Pickup. Excuse me, Hades, or not, I'm getting confused. That ban was probably Emir or Bacchus, just given the fact that the heavy support god or guardian focus ban. Clearly not Bacchus, as that's being hovered over right now. So possibly was that Emir yet again taking another shot over at Junipero. So okay, apparently Wolfie is being a great guy and cycling through all the still available guardians as Sobek gets locked in.
Well, Sobek is picked up there. This potentially could not, it might not even be a Sobek support, it's likely, but it's not 100% guaranteed to be a Sobek support this time around. Junipero is going to hover over the Bacchus again, like we said, with limitations on the supports available. Vermana also being hovered over here by Noble Esports for Cyper in the solo lane. Ooh, switched up a little bit, maybe going for a Guan Yu.
Guan Yu would be really interesting, this team composition, if they go to lock that one in. It's a lot of armor shred. And Guan Yu did just get locked in as well as that Bacchus. So Tyr, he's going to be pretty tanky. Sobek is going to be pretty tanky. Their last pick, well, it's looking like it might be a bad stat for the jungler. Hunbats for the jungler, not quite so tanky, but Tal's Assault does a lot of damage. Conviction, a lot of heals. Cavalry Charge, great initiation, stun, damage. Guan Yu, a very, very strong god, who I think in a lot of people's books is kind of underrated.
Sorry, I apologize. I completely blanked then. But yes, he is kind of underrated, and I think we'll see him actually become a little bit stronger as time goes on. What'd you say?
That was not a bad stat. That is, in fact, a Fenrir pickup. Production. Please, why you keep doing this stuff?
It was not a bad stat. It was not a bad stat. But that's going to be the two-team cost between the two of these now. Noble Esports going to be coming up against hi-5 again. It's tied at 1-1. Who will be victorious in the week 1 of the Challenger Cup? Find out after this very short break.
Hello and welcome back, guys. That was not the correct screen. Now we're in game. It's going to be Noble Esports once again facing off against hi-5. Third game of this series. We're going all the way this weekend, dude.
Yeah, we are going to go all the way. Noble Esports going to play safe at the start of the tower once again this time round. I guess they just don't want to get picked in the jungle at the beginning of the game. But this is going to be an interesting matchup because we're going to see Cypher playing Bellona in the solo lane. Wolfie's going to be taking Fenrir to that solo lane. Grishank's actually playing Tyr in the jungle this time, and across the way, Adjust is going to be taking Guan Yu to the jungle. So we've got a warrior jungle meta going on in this game. Once again, the 3 deep wards from hi-5 come out to give full vision of the jungle, and just one defensive one from Noble Esports this time round. It's a bit of an interesting game.
Yeah, to say the least. I mean, Guan Yu, I touched on a little bit during the picks and banning phase. Jungle, he's not. I mean, look at his team composition. You'd expect the Bellona to be the jungler, Guan Yu over in the solo lane. That's not going to be the case. Same thing. Fenrir, Tyr, you'd expect them to be in the Fenrir to be in the jungle, the Tyr to be in the solo lane. So some interesting swapping coming from these guys. What I think is the advantage to this particular composition. Guan Yu in the solo lane, Conviction, kind of he heals himself up for the first 10-15 minutes of the game. Roaming around the map, he could potentially offer that the extra healing, the extra support and utility to his team when he's roaming around. The Tal's Assault for that shred, Cavalry Charge with big initiations. Bellona going up against the Fenrir. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how one plays out. I gotta give it a little bit towards the Bellona initially as the game gets underway, but at the same time, Fenrir is kind of ability-based. A disarm off Bellona's 3 doesn't really do much when he's just kind of latched onto you and just clawing your face apart with an ability.
Yeah, no, so I think Fenrir is not too bad of a matchup against against this Bellona. Adjust in the meanwhile, though, on this Guan Yu actually didn't get hit by the stun there by Wolfie, and the Brutalize coming out onto Adjust, who actually dashes back in to release himself, which was a good decision there, actually, just to release the amount of damage that was going to potentially continue and hitting onto him. Using that Warrior's Will very, very effectively, but already Grishank rotating to this mid lane, looking for a potential pick onto Vulture.
Fearless not going to connect. BK Haste will be okay on that one.
BK Haste, yeah. That's better.
Already though, look at those health bars in the mid laners just from the back and forth aggression they're showing with each other. Game 1, Vulture got kind of picked off. Game 2, punished immediately in a 1v1 onto BK Haste, and this time around, they're kind of slapping each other back and forth as Gershank is looking for that deep invade, got spotted out.
He is, but he's got spotted out, and that's going to hit a Spirit Bolt to the back of the head, followed by Tallow Assault. Paul was opened up nicely there from Vulture to give him an escape route if required. And he's going to go back to farming again. Mid-back up, he stayed alive. Nobody really lost anything. Just a bit of touchy-feely between the two junglers. Nothing exciting.
So right now, not much going on for the moment, but once again, another invade coming out from Gershank. He has a thing for the enemy team's Harpies, apparently. He's back there. No one there to stop him handing the gods off cooldown. He secures those quite quickly. He's going to find, maybe not find Adjust as he looks to rotate back on out. There's a
they might look for Adjust here. Oh, that portal's nice. But it's a baiting portal because now Grishank might be able to go aggressive here. Vulture's in a bit of trouble because they know the portal's on cooldown, but Fearless is going to connect, but it's not on the target. He really would have liked it to be, and it would have been on Adjust, would have been better. Maybe the extra tower shot will help. No, that was a minion. Can Grishank find the kill? No, he's going to find some wing gust damage for his enjoyment, followed by a Tallow Assault.
The help of the minions as well. I'm not entirely sure right there why Gershank did not take that Janus portal. It was on the wall. It was ready to go. He could have taken that bin in range that much sooner and helping out Vulture, who then would have lived a little bit longer in that fight and possibly been able to turn that around, but the health bars are so low. So I don't know, maybe a slight little misplay. Maybe he wasn't expecting the portal. I think it might have just been slightly behind him when it popped up on the wall. But nevertheless, if he had taken it, that fight could have gone differently. But with that, first and second blood drawn by Noble Esports, a nice little early game advantage for those guys.
Yeah, it's put him in a good step. Mid-Harpy's about to spawn right now. Both supports are rotating for these left ones. Bolcher's here as well, only level 4. But so is a Just here, so this is going to be a close one. I'm not sure who actually got them yet. We'll find out in a second, because at the moment it's Brochacho who's in trouble, and I'm pretty sure it was Noble who got him because of the levels.
Yeah, there's a cavalry charge coming in to secure that kill. Warbering going to be forced out from Gershenk across the wall to escape. Darkest Knights from Lu across the map, not really finding too much. Medieval will miss that Shifting Sands Impale combination. They're looking for something here. Medieval in the back, about to get caught up by Just. The question is, Disperse is available. He's going to leap straight on back out to safety. He's going to charge forward and look for some damage. The wave is here. Risky play. Junie's here as well.
Junie is here, but the belly flop does not connect. The burp is doing some okay work to force away Medieval, but it's not going to be able to find the kill. That's a shame for that engagement of the 3 men over there. 3 minutes 42 in, though. Experience lead of about 600. Gold leads 1,000 right now for Noble Esports. It's not a bad start to the day for them in this third game, but it's nowhere near something that they can really capitalize on for a Gold Fury just yet. Wolfie's rotating to mid. What are you thinking about it? I thought Wolfie might have been looking for a potential dive in mid.
Yeah, there's that little 3-man grouping right side. It looked like Wolfie was going to rotate over, but went back to the soul lane. Didn't want to miss that wave of minions. Farm, you know, sometimes you have to say, you know, it's better to get that 200 gold or so from minion wave. Although, there's a Ragnarok coming out. Cypher's going to have the Eagles around and leap straight on back out. Ultimate for ultimate. Yep. Someone's kind of winning the wings, though.
Yeah, he is. It's Tyr, and he's on the way, but he's not going to do anything. The Privateer just decides, changes his mind to go for the engagement there. He didn't have Blink available, but what's happened on the other side because of that? Gold Fury's been done. Brochacho's here. Can he save the day? No. He lurks in the waters just a little bit too long to make anything happen there. And Noble Esports with a good capitalization of that Gold Fury. Kind of a rich repeat of what Hi-5 did last game.
Yeah, they're looking to apply the early game pressure anywhere they can possibly find it and capitalize on it. It's one of the important things. We saw so many team fights in game 1. It's like, oh my god, they're fighting again. And what are they going to get on this? Every tower is down. Minion waves are pushed all the way back. Their health bars are empty. Harpies are down. Buffs are down. They fought a huge team fight. They got won with 1 kill in the lead. And there's no objective. This time around, they're taking these early objectives. Hi-5 did this exact same thing in game number 2. You look for the fights, you find a pick or two, find somebody out of position, and you go for an objective. It's the objectives that overall win the game, and right now, Noble Esports are capitalizing on that. We saw guys go right. Let's just take the gold here. That's 1,500 gold in the bank for us. That yields nice things like completed Traveler's Shoes and Devourer's Gauntlets and things like that Noble are going to be turning into possibly a bigger advantage as the game continues going on.
The funny thing about this game is that both team lineups here are going to be a lot more tankier than they were last time round. The last 2 games we've seen lots of constant fights with lots of deaths and lots of outplays and misplays and overplays from both teams. This time round though, there's not as many squishy targets. Both the solo laners very, very tanky, sustainable gods. Same in the jungle as well. 2 warriors picked this time, not assassins. So these are fights that are going to break out. I think they'll snowball a little bit harder if they go in one team's favor just because of the warrior effectiveness in the game.
Yeah, later on, if the game gets probably past the 25-30 minute mark or so, this game is pretty much going to lie solely on the heads of these 80 carries. If they're able to stay alive, the damage coming is going to be big. It just gets plucked back into the fight. Not going to fall into the portal due to the cavalry charge use. So he's going to be able to get away from that.
He does, and that's going to be a disengage from both teams now, but with the rotation from Cypher here, looking for the mid-Harpies, he's going to bring Wolfie in tow as well. Cypher going to get aggressed on and stun. The Fearless gets cancelled out by the Belch of the Gods. Now the re-aggression with the rally from Cypher, looking for the damage with the hammer. Does some good work over the top. Comes the Lawbringer from Gershenk. He's looking for damage, but Bolcher is trying to do what he can to survive on the backside, as Cypher was in deep.
Yeah, and that is for sure. But yeah, as this game continues going on, a lot of these fights are going to come down to the 80 carries, just because, like you said, as tanky as both these lineups are, Bolcher can look to burst down a squishy target on that Janus. You catch some, like, a Guan Yu, even a Bellona or a Junipera in that combo. It's like, woo, I hit them for like a quarter of their health. Get an 80 carry, their whole health bar is going to vanish. But the main concern I have, yeah, Medieval has the kind of passive armor shred with his passive. But Lu, at the same time, if he gets 6 kills, that's an extra always active 30 physical power. And he also has the branching bolas for effective AoE damage for every attack he hits. Every time, he's hitting 2 additional targets for 30% extra damage. So, yeah, Desert Fury comes out, does a lot of damage. Yeah, the Impale is great. Shifting Sands is 20% damage to anybody in that area. Xbalanque has an always active physical power steroid, plus an AoE steroid on with his branching bolas. So, late game, if they can keep Lu alive, he could have a much bigger factor on these team fights.
Yeah, it's true. Lude's late game is a lot stronger. On top of that, Wolfie's going to be slightly squishier because he's playing an assassin here. Has to get up close and personal to really deal damage. But having that assassin could really benefit him for bringing down Xbalanque. If they can wait for his rising Jaguar and Wolfie engages at the right time, he could really put the pressure on. As well as the sustain he could get going for him. 8 minutes in though, there's no mid-harpies available, and the real action going on around there is really between Wolfie and Cypher at the moment. As they're looking, I don't know what Bocce was doing around there. That he's forced the ultimate though. Out of Lou. They were looking for a pick. I'm not sure why. Goffy was down for quite a while longer.
Yeah, over in the right-hand lane, the gank was coming in from Alberchacho. A perfect time Eagles Rally avoided the Ragnarok coming out from Wolfie and was able to allow Bellona to escape off of that. Still sticking around though, this might be a case of one more wave syndrome as Alberchacho has returned back to base with the use of that teleport into lurking the waters right now as well. This could be a 1v1 solo kill. Cypher is reasonably tanked with that Runeforge hammer. Plucked back out from the safe of the tower. Can he lock down this kill? Not gonna have it.
He's not got the damage. The good news is, though, he's only just done that now. If he stayed any longer, the Gold Fury would have respawned and they could have looked for it again, could Noble Esports. But he should be able to get back in good tow now, in time for it respawning once again. War coverage is even at the Gold Fury right now. 2 sentries waiting in the wings for Noble Esports there, but 1 normal ward each at the actual Gold Fury.
So we'll have to see. The Gold Fury is going to be up in just about 15 seconds. Wards already getting placed down by both these teams. A handful in the inventory of Noble Esports. Hi-5 have what is on the map, and that is it. They have no more time to go back right now, lest they give Noble Esports the opportunity to kind of swoop in and take that. Harpies are up as well. Quickly taken down by Hi-5. As they look possible to catch somebody out. Not able to do so, however. Although they have that pluck, so people have to be very careful of positioning to make sure they're not pulled back into the enemy lineup.
Bit of aggression in mid lane onto Grishang from Junie, but she's going to actually eat a lot of poke for her trouble. Now you're going to see actually at the same time BK Haste returns some damage, and Grishang has to bring her away, but on the backside, Adjust is there. Now the fight is breaking out.
That's going to be a double kill coming out for Adjust. They look for a little bit more on this one. Adjust going around the right side to clean up those right side Harpies. Gold Fury has respawned. Hand of the Gods are down right now across the board. There's no real steal potential coming out for Hi-5. They have the Wrath of the Gods available. They only need to get down to 25%. Noble Esports looking to continue to lead as a pick comes out by BK Haste in the mid lane. Wolfie, thinking about answering back, decides against that, perhaps rather wisely.
That's the funniest engagement I've seen today, honestly, because what we saw there was Juniper just like burped on a Tyr, and Tyr's like, whatever, it's 1 second, I'm Tyr anyway. And then they got belly flopped, then Bocce hit him, then BK Haste hit him with the Spirit Ball, and that all of a sudden made him have to use Lawbringer to get away after engaging onto Junie himself. And then it just came out in the background, and the cavalry charge just wrecked havoc in that fight, and just turned that one around.
Yep, rough spot there for him. Like you said, Tyr, that passive reduces the duration of crowd control, cannot exceed 1 second. So, that's great. Unless you're hit by multiple crowd controls, like that was the case. So, maybe not expecting that one. Typically, Tyr, people tend to kind of ignore him. He's Tyr, we'll do what we can to stop him, but he's not really going to be stopped. He's going to be the one moving people around. So, turn the tables a little bit against him. Right side, once again, back and forth going on. These solo laners keep slapping each other all over the place today.
Oh, Ragnarok does pick him up. Cypher's actually keeping him in the minion wave there was Wolfie. Really wise to do so with the Ragnarok. He couldn't get him back to tower range, so he's like, yo, archers, break it down for me. But reinforcements arrive for Noble Esports to disengage Wolfie from going any more aggressive in that. He needs to watch himself, though, as his 3 men waiting, and I don't think he knows it. He does now.
Yeah, there's cover charge coming out, looking for the stun. Brutalize used for a little bit of a hop away. The stun does come out. Junie nearby as well. Belly pop, knock a Vulture, found a kill on the BK hits across the map. Just finds Wolfie in the right lane.
That's a good play from Hi-5. They knew the commitment was right-hand side, and they forced to play mid lane instead to make sure it for 1-for-1. Now they're going to look to try and pick somebody else. These guys are overextended to read Noble Esports, but the Xbalanque ult may save the day.
There's Vulture getting focused down. Now, can they get through this wall? It's going to be the question. If he can get out, he's going to drop a portal at his feet, but it's not going to be enough. Another kill. Junie and Cypher getting quite low. Lawbringer comes out once again. Grishang about to fall. Can he stay? He's trying to juke, trying to buy time. Cypher finds that with the shield bash. It's only Alberchacho right now. He's going to use that charge prey successfully to escape that one. Hi-5 put themselves on the board, but Noble Esports answered back once again with a couple additional kills.
Yeah, once again, the answer back pretty well, but Noble Esports are still the ones in the driving seat in this game based off how the early game's gone already. The Gold Fury, 2 of them in favour of them now. You can see by the experience in gold lead that it's a decent lead for them. Medieval might be able to find in the jungle Lou on this rotation in here. The fire's going to break out. Impale is now used. The damage is good, forcing the Rising Jaguar away. Is Medieval going to continue the chase? No, he will not. He will choose the minions. The wiser decision.
Yeah, guaranteed farm. Why not get that all nice and secured? He has the opportunity to go back in just a moment as well. The ultimate will be online at that point. Dark of Knight's not quite so much, so Lou's going to have to kind of play back on Medieval. Kind of just slowly, you see him immediately. I don't have to actually push this way forward. Just wait. He could in theory last it for a little bit extra goal, but nevertheless, he's freezing the lane as best he possibly can. He wants to keep Lou away from this, stop his gold from coming in, stop the experience from growing as well. And it's going to advance a little bit forward due to that brute versus the other wave. But nevertheless, it's an opportunity for me to delay that extra gold experience from Lou as long as possible.
Well, 40 minutes in. Noble Esports still in the lead. They're looking for a pick at the moment on the left-hand side, potentially with a just rotating over there, but he's just going to suck some farm for the time being. Tower damage-wise, it's relatively even between the two. You can see the mid-tower of Noble Esports has been chipped away a little bit because of the pressure they put onto BK Haste and that kill that they found on him. But in response, the right-hand side tower of hi-5 is on its last legs as well at the moment. And there's not much for them to really do at the moment, apart from farm, apart from maybe mid. Maybe mid.
Dark's Nets coming in. Spirit Ball connected onto Gershank. They're trying to find something here. Portal for Vulture. Gershank and the bring her away. Adjust once again. Looking to chase it down. Cover charge will be good.
Go on, you boys. Go on, you mystical male. Does so much damage. Meanwhile, through space and time gets channeled by Vulture. He's trying to return some of that damage back onto Adjust. But can they manage to find anything? There's a circle of protection. And then will that explode and cause havoc? Not really. It'll just heal people up for the time being. The fight in the jungle is raging.
Noble Esports right now kind of getting caught and surrounded, but they're not going to look to capitalize on this. It would be a 3v4. Vulture, or Medieval, excuse me, looking for BK Hayes. Will he be able to find this kill? Elbow Chacho secures that one with something or other ability. He sliced and diced and killed people. Nevertheless, fight continues. 2 kills against Noble Esports. This is a fight hi-5 very badly need.
Medieval's dead. Medieval's dead unless he can leap. No, he cannot. I'm just going to find that kill. The mystical male is doing some great work in this engagement. Now under the tower, Tell him Assault will bring him down as well. Just gets the double kill for himself as well. Gold Fury due to spawn. Vulture's waiting in the wings. Gets some good damage off. Portals away nicely. But Gershank is actually going to find Adjust hit. No, he's not. He's going to die to the tower. Adjust sacrificing himself, giving that tower that extra gold to be able to buy its next item when it goes back to base.
It's an assist, nothing else. A little bit of extra gold doesn't hurt, but it would have been much preferable to get that kill. The most important thing, that would have been a 500 gold kill if he'd been able to get that. The 10 kill streak, that would have been huge. But because it was denied to the tower, it's only maybe 150 or so gold. That's a huge, huge advantage there for Noble Esports, able to sacrifice himself to their tower.
Well, 8,500 experience, 6,500 gold lead for Noble Esports. It was 11-0, it's now 14-3. The Gold Fury is available right now, and both teams are going to be vying over it. Juni is waiting around the corner for a potential belly flopperino, but it's the flipperino that happens to the bell shot to Brochacho. He has used Lurk of the Walls, and he's already below half health. Very, very low is Brochacho. Intoxicate hits. There is the Rising Jaguar, but it's not going to be enough to bring him down, and now it's actually going to be the little man Xbalanque that dies.
Adjust returning from base right now, looking to reinforce his team as he comes on into this one. Juni gets pushed through a Janus portal. Wolfie gets that kill. Adjust shows up to the party, but everyone else is already headed home. Through space and time, gets 2 out safely. The turnaround could have been big. Gershank in the back answers another one to BK Hayes. They left him on his own a little too long.
Cypher's hurting.
Yeah.
That wombo combo of Bellona and Guan together is absolutely disgusting. I've not even really thought about that, but the damage potential these two have together, especially with Cypher going for an Executioner, he's just going to shred through these tanky targets that hi-5 have. If they can stay in the engagement, they're going to beat them down hard.
Double Harpy camps right now in the mid lane, going the way of Noble Esports right now. A couple of kills going answered back by hi-5, which is to be expected. You know, eventually somebody's going to make a little mistake and get kills back in. Noble Esports are building a strong gold lead, but it's another one of these cases of it. A lot of that gold is just down to the double Gold Fury pickups. The kills are kind of back and forth. When you're ahead, kills are worth less. So it's something to keep in mind. Noble Esports are ahead, But if hi-5 can make some plays over these objectives, they could turn this game around fairly quickly still.
The thing is, we've seen 3 games between these two, right? The last 2 games it's gone exactly the same way. Whichever team took the lead early on, these fights carried on happening, and eventually the team that started with the early lead won the game. Will this be the same case? It's potentially the same. That's how I'm feeling with it right now, is that I think Noble Esports will win this one, because they'll keep doing the crazy shenanigan fights, they'll slowly keep going in their favour, and then we'll end the game. It's done twice before, why break what's already happened? We'll see though, we'll see.
That's true. So, Hindu calling for Noble Esports ready. We'll see if hi-5 can turn this one back around or not. Right now, Bacchus getting caught on focus down right now by Cypher and Adjust on the left-hand side. That combo you were just talking about, paying off again. Vulture in a bad spot, through space and time. Gonna get him through that wall. Gold Fury once again being turned towards and focused by Noble Esports. This will be number 3, and really nobody nearby as Wolfie kind of makes his withdrawal here. He doesn't want to go in. It would be a risky play. He's going to look some damage into Adjust, but he's not worried about that Fenrir in the slightest.
Godfrey does go down, Adjust on the front line, quite happy to tackle with that Mystical Mail. With the Spirit Ball coming in, it's forcing a Lawbringer away. Medieval's going to get shot down as quick as he can. He's drunk, but he turns around with a great impale onto Cyper to disengage him from that fight and save his own life. Wolfie on the backside, actually going to leap in and pop the Ragnarok, but who's he taking for a wild ride into the tier 2 tower? It was the fat man Bacchus, and that's not going to be the one that's going to get you a kill. They're going to try and bring down the tier 1 tower in mid now with the sustain full help. Spirit Ball, Wing Gust coming out. Wolfie going to live for now. Flip from Brochacho. Tower still stands, but everyone is still alive on Noble.
Tower did fall 1 for 1 as this fight doesn't continue. Lou got that kill. He is still alive. That's the important one. Medieval doing damage. Looking for the kill on the Cypher. Can he survive? Running away. Impale from Medieval says, no, you're not living through this one. Lou will have that Rising Jaguar available. He's waiting for the block. Not going to be able to use it just in nick time. Beads forced through that portal. Nevertheless, it's only a tier 1 Beads. Only a half-second correctional immunity. hi-5 finding a team fight victory. Not quite
this
overall.
was Noble.
Yeah.
This was Noble making a mistake. Noble took the Gold Fury, they won an engagement, they wanted the tier 1, they backdoored it, they took too long backdooring it, so now they lose their own tier 1 tower as well in response. Now in the jungle, you can see Vulture was going aggressive here, looking for something in the jungle. He may die and pay the iron price because of it once again. This is exactly what keeps happening. They're just slightly too much from both teams every single time.
Yeah, part of the problem, though, is Adjust is on fire on this Guan Yu. He is tanky. He is doing damage. He's top damage. Pulling that chart up. Top damage on his team. Vulture is doing a lot. He's top damage overall right now. The problem is, even against Adjust, he cannot really fight him. He's a burst damage mage. Adjust is a tanky warrior, even without any real magical protection on him. He has extra health from Mystical Mail. That's more than enough for damage he does to deal with that Janus. He can just look for these picks, go in the backline. He's not worried about anybody right now.
Well, let's see, 18-9, Wolfie going to jump away from Junie, who tries to flop onto him, and now we're going to see over on the right-hand side, Minnie's going to get pushed out as a Blue Wolf's taken down by Bellona. We'll see what's going to be set up for his next time round, as the Fire Giant is definitely, like you said, a potential target now for these teams.
I was just very confused for a moment with Isis. Why is Isis wearing a hat? Ah, yes, the team skins. I figured it out, Hindu. I know what's going on. Caster moments. Nevertheless, fight about to break out. Dark Sunlight's coming from across the map from that Xbalanque. Not going to find any stuns. Not going to find that Spirit Ball from BK Haste either. Teams are grouping up. Rotations from the from the Hunters coming in from that dual lane.
That Dockers have now been on cooldown should be an opportunity now for hi-5 to try and go aggressive. They want to try and pick off this Xbalanque because they've got to get rid of the Bash brothers on the front line. When I say Bash brothers, it's a Bash trio, really, of brothers that are just really starting to wreak havoc on the backside. Through space and time comes out as Guan Yu is doing work to force Medieval away and continuing to chase him on. BK Heist actually used the circle protection there. Junie's in a bit of trouble here. Going to get hit by the Ragnarok potentially. No, it's chicken dinner for Wolfie.
That's for sure. Wolfie able to leap over the wall, though, to save. The problem is now it's a 4v5 in the remainder fight. BK Hayes finds out Brochacho. A portal does catch a few. BK is very, very low, but he is not being focused by anybody.
Grishank missed it. He didn't actually see him on the backside being so low. Wolfie did go in, look for the Brutalize, did not get a kill. Meanwhile, the Medieval and Vulture are now doing work. The leap in is good for Medieval to find the double. Meanwhile, Vulture still wrecking people. The threshold will slow Adjust from getting away. The heal will buy him another second. Meanwhile, Medieval gets a triple. And a possible DS side?
Junie is going to be left alone. They might look for the Fire Giant right here. A couple pings coming out as Fire Giant will be started up right now. We'll see if they're able to take this one down. Noble Esports.
They have to zone. They have to zone Junie. They don't know if she's coming yet. They don't have a ward on her. She's got enough HP for nothing. She's got enough mana for nothing. But what she's going to be able to do is zone them off the fire giant. They didn't realize that that was more than worried about dying to the fire giant than realizing Junie was there. But they had to just be careful in case it would have taken them too long.
I think one of the big things going forward, Noble Esports, like you said, the Brawl brothers roaming around, the Brawl trio, if you group up Juniper on that one, they're very, very fed, they're very, very far ahead. The problem is they need to start focusing on target prioritization. The 80 carries coming online, Belcher's doing top damage of the game still at this point. They need to get those priority targets down, unless we see things like, last night we saw that triple kill coming out from Medieval. He was alive, he was never really touched that entire engagement, and he was just having a field day. He's the highest level on this team by far. They need to deal with him. They need to deal with Belcher. Everyone else is kind of subsequent. You pick them off, great. But you need to take down those big damage dealers. They're able to zone. They're tanky. They're monsters. But if the rest of the team's zoning everyone else, taking out Lou, taking out BK Hayes, the fights are going to keep going the way of High Five.
Well, that fight did go in the way of High Five. It's slowed down the lead of experiencing gold, chunked it a little bit for Noble Esports, but at the moment the Goffy has been started up here by the boys of Noble. Lou in position, he sees Brochacho in the area, and now everybody's going to reposition once again. Could this be a fight? Junie just goes in, missing the belly flop. Intoxicate only hits one. They're looking for Brochacho here. Don't think that's really the target they really want, but maybe it is, so they can go for the fire giant. Let's find out how this fight goes.
It's messy. Cypher finds that quick pill. They spent a lot of support, but we're able to bring it down. As the fight continues, Belcher now being targeted. They can stop him getting through a wall. That will be a kill, but the 3 space and time channels just in time. Cypher found himself a little bit of a ride in the mouth of Wolfie, but the fight right now, Noble Esports look like they might have this one.
Yeah, Noble Esports are winning this fight. Wolfie's the last man standing here. No, he's not, because Grishak's still alive for a second with that blink to escape the wing gust. Very well used, but the tier 2 tower is going to be a casualty of war now in favor of Noble Esports. They can now look for the fire giant as well.
This should be. Wolfie does not have Wrath of the Gods. If they even look to go for it, they really don't have the capability to actually stop this attempt right now. So it's looking like it's going to be a secure on the fire giant for Noble Esports. It's a big goal.
Best case scenario, they can stop them, fight them in there, and do great things in terms of damage and try and kill 1 or 2. They might not be able to steal the fire giant, but they could have killed a couple. Instead, they backed away, played it safe. Fire giant now goes to Noble Esports. And still, the gold experience now swings again in their favor a little bit more considerably, thanks to that engagement.
Yeah, the big concern, I think, was just the fact that it was still going to be a 2v5 going in that one. Tyr and Fenrir, yeah, they're big, tanky, in-your-face bruisers, but they don't necessarily have the damage to bring these guys down in a 5v2 situation before Nobles was able to shred them, get a bunch of kills, and then go for the fire giant anyway. We sometimes weren't too far behind, but I don't think there would have been a delay enough if they had just looked for the 2 kills and re-engaged the fire giant immediately. Gold Fury going down there as well, however, as Weakening Curse was picked up by El Brochacho. That's kind of not necessarily the beginning of the end. Cypher did pick up Assy as well, so the lifesteal coming out from Bellona could be a little bit of a factor. They're a little concerned about it, if nothing else. As well, you know, Bancroft's on Belcher for some BK Hayes for lifesteal, as well as Xbalanque with Devourer's Gauntlet. So lifesteal going to be shut down by that one, as well as the Circle Protection. Avoiding that big heal coming out from that can be a factor in a fight.
Well, Weakening Curse is online as well for Bolchacho. He's had it for a while now, but that could actually help out. 3 spaces have been challenged to the right side. Bolcher's looking for a potential play over here. I think it was actually to try and dissuade Grishak from getting gagged, but he's blinked over the wall, and this blink is going to be his life. Whatever way he's looking at this, did I just not see him? Did I just not see him?
I don't know.
Oh, but the minions spot him. The minions spot him, but he did manage to heal after him. I'm so confused what he's doing now. He's on merry adventures, but horsey, don't you stop. A guy with 1 arm can't run horse.
Cypher's
it
going
wouldn't make a difference if he had 2 arms, really, would it? Let's be honest. But
Cypher's going full Benny Hill chase through the jungle right now as he led the enemy team to his own team. El Brochacho's trying to lurk in these waters and will get picked up and going to Lou. That passive not yet fully stacked, only halfway there, but it doesn't matter. He's doing damage, he's doing work. Actually, 14,000. Second lowest on his team, but nevertheless, that's going to continue to grow as the 80 carry starts to come more and more online. Rage not too far off being completed. This tier 2 tower not looking long for this world as it's a 5-man grouping. Medieval's trying to split push, but he's going to be forced to go back to base and try and defend this left side Phoenix.
Well, let's see what they can do to defend it, because it's going to be 3 members of Hi-5 trying to withstand the 5-man onslaught of Noble with their tanky Bash brothers on the front line if required. Junie's going to zone them out for now, and now we're going to see the Phoenix fall. Will they just swing on the safe way? I think they will.
Definitely a good call. They made that little mistake going back a game or two. They kind of split up. I'm going this way, I'm going that way. Everyone went all over the place and got punished for doing it. This time, they all went the same way. No one really chased, but they're going back to base safely. Spending some of that hard-earned gold, picking up some nice new shiny items. And with about a minute and a half left on that gold Fire Giant buff, they could potentially look for some more objectives.
Yeah, let's see what they can get out of this one now. I mean, to be honest, it's going to be down to Hi-5 trying to withstand the pressure coming out from the enemy team. They've got to deal with two Phoenixes still standing, make sure they can siege up, but what potential have they got for a pick, really? It's all down to, realistically, Vulture. Yeah. He's got to get some burst damage off and continue working on his build, but 35 stacks on that Doom Orb, as well as a Chronos Pendant, going to be a hard ask.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be rough. They have the potential. The problem is, it's really that gold advantage starting to come into play, experience advantage as well. See, aside from the 80 carries, everybody on the side of Hi-5 still a decent way off of hitting 20. Noble Esports, they're all level 20, with the exception of support, which, well, that's fairly normal. Jungle, though, working worse. El Brochacho is just getting shredded apart right now. Just going to pick that kill up in the backside of this fight. It's on. Vulture going to be able to sneak through that wall. He will live to fight another day, but he has to be careful because the rest of his team wall is getting ripped apart.
Well, Adjust is trying to do what he can on the front side to keep Wolfie away. Wolfie's going to get exploited by Spirit Ball. Late game Spirit Balls are disgusting. With the Circle of Protection, they'll heal themselves back almost to 100% HP. The middle Phoenix is going to fall here. Juniper does find out Grishank on the other side. Is there anything that Hi-5 can do here to try and stay in this game?
Right now, not looking like
it.
It will take a massively effective Desert Fury coming out. Spirit Ball will connect and he will get back to the fountain. No, he will not. 5 seconds left on the respawn time, but is not going to matter. El Brochacho will remain in that respawn queue. And Hi-5 not going to be able to find this turnaround. Noble Esports taking the series 2-1 to win week number 1 of the North American Challenger Cup.
Really well played by both these two teams this week. Noble Esports come out pretty strong. This was not the full roster of Hi-5 as have been communicated. They did have some standings this time round, so we'll see exactly what they'll bring to the table next week. Will they be able to come back and face Noble Esports? Don't forget, next week will be more soft-seeded based off the results this week. The top 8 teams finishing up this week were Noble Esports in first, Hi-5 second, Normies Leave finished in third over Return Gaming. Fourth position, and the last few positions were Team Zistar, Resist Gaming, Turnip Esports, and Garden Guys were the top 8 finishers. So they're the names to be watching out for next week, as these teams will be vying to try and get themselves into the round robin stage.
Yep, and guys, going to put that up on screen right now. It is only a 5-week open bracket entry format. Week 6 and 7, it's an 8-seed group stage. It'll be split up into 2 groups of 4. They'll play each other twice overall, and then the final 2 top teams from each group will move on into a final single elimination tournament where each match will be a best-of-5 series. So it's a little bit of a change in the format, but it makes these first couple weeks that much more important, as well as week 6, 7, and then finally one big best-of-5 matchup series to close things out. It's a bit of a change in format. We're hoping it'll work out well and you guys will enjoy watching the slightly changed overall format. So yeah, it'll be interesting how this plays out. I'm looking forward to the changes. I know Hindu should be, considering it was his idea in the first place to make these changes. And I'm hoping the players will like it as well, because playing those best-of-5 matchups, there's a lot more strategy involved with it overall, as opposed to just a best of a once-and-you're-out type situation like these normal open brackets tend to be.
Well, guys, that's going to be the end of the broadcast from North America this week. And tomorrow, however, the European scene will kick off as per usual. The first week of the Challenger Cup will start there. Find out if there's any EU teams to write home to mother about and let her know how cool they are and the potential they've got, because some teams in NA still looking pretty strong. Will they be able to beat the relegation teams? We'll find out in a couple of weeks. But for the time being, take it easy, and we'll see you all again tomorrow.